just a minute, I want you to think about a novel or a work of literature that you read in middle school or high school that had a lasting impact on you. Now, if you took that same novel into a typical 8th grade classroom today, only about 8 students would be able to read that novel. And while that statistic may sound unbelievable, that's the unfortunate reality for the majority of middle and high school classrooms today in the United States, where according to the National Assessment of Education Progress, only a third of adolescents in grades 4 through 12 are reading at or above a proficient level. So while these other students may be able to read signage, simple directions, or even short paragraphs, they lack the ability to make complex inferences, draw conclusions, and make connections across lengthier texts. Fortunately, there are a number of reports that synthesize decades of scientific research in reading development and instruction. Some examples include the National Reading Panel report released in 2000, the Reading Next report in 2004, and the Institute of Education Sciences Practice Guide in 2008. And some of the effective instructional practices highlighted in these reports include explicit comprehension strategy instruction, text-based discussion, and vocabulary instruction. Now, you may be wondering how only a third of adolescents are reading proficiently when we have amassed this much knowledge and effective reading instruction practices. Well, in reality, there are often difficulties in translating the benefits of instruction supported by high-quality research into schools. And that is where my work is situated. I am interested in investigating the feasibility of implementing these strategies in real-world classrooms. So while most intervention research asks, does this work? I instead ask, can this work? So I began my feasibility study by designing an intervention that engages students in explicit comprehension strategy instruction, text-based discussion, and vocabulary instruction while reading a young adult novel. And this type of instruction typically happens with shorter passage length texts, so my approach is unique. And I purposefully chose to use a novel so that students would get experience with more complex plots, characters, and themes with teacher support. My intervention was implemented in 8 middle school language arts classrooms over a period of 6 weeks. During implementation, I worked with teachers to study 3 aspects of feasibility that I termed utility, appropriateness, and acceptability. I conducted classroom observations to measure fidelity, I collected teacher and student survey data, and I conducted teacher focus group interviews. For the aspect of utility, I was interested in studying the ease of use and practicality of the intervention. The majority of teachers reported that the intervention was easy to use, with one teacher noting that the implementation of it was really easy. It was just the timing factor that made it difficult. This factor is supported by the finding that the average implementation fidelity was between 85 and 95% for all the participating teachers. In terms of practicality, some teachers shared a sentiment that they felt that for most of their students, this was likely the first positive experience they had had with a novelist text. For appropriateness, I was interested in investigating the effectiveness of the intervention. Teachers reported anecdotal evidence of improvement in all targeted skill areas, with students feeling more comfortable asking questions. And students reported that they liked the intervention helps them understand the book, and they liked how it helps them understand what was important and what was just a fun fact. In terms of acceptability, I wanted to know how teachers and students felt about the intervention. 80% of teachers reported that they liked the intervention and liked many of the intervention components. Students, 70% agreed that they liked reading the book. They liked that it was fun to learn and read with the class. And they also liked the book taught lessons about inclusion and belonging. So overall, my work emphasizes the importance of collaboration between teachers, schools, and researchers in developing and implementing interventions. My hope is that by investigating the feasibility of implementing these practices, we can work to bridge the gap between high-quality research and practical classroom outcomes. Thank you.